to get good academic achievement at Yonsei UIC? Do you want to get A+ in academic essays in particular? Then this video is for you.
Everybody put your hands in the air.
Hey, I'm not a genius in English reading and writing either, but I got some useful tips from very generous
and devoted teachers, instructors, and mentors around me.
Plus, I'm sharing some tips from the course that was really competitive to get enrolled in Yonsei UIC, and that particular professor is not going to be in Yonsei UIC anymore. So it might be helpful to you. I hope this helps you. And if there are any additional tips from other upperclassmen or from yourself, then please comment it below so that you can help other students out as well. Hi everyone, this is 폴댄스 Esther. 안녕하세요, 폴댄스더입니다. So for more excitement, I'm going to continue this video with my cute puppy. I'm going to introduce Gucci to you. Hi Gucci. So what do I have to do before each class? Do I actually have to read all the assigned readings?
It's really long and it's kind of boring. I'm falling asleep, like my dog.
At least know the subject and the topic. It's that simple. So you might wonder, what do I do in class to get A+? You have to take notes actively from your class, at least. You have to know
how the professor interprets that text and maybe the possible points that your classmates might have, some of the useful points, and the historical background or whatnot that might be
very useful when you're writing an academic essay. So please don't fall asleep in class if possible, and take active notes so it's gonna be helpful for your future. How do I actually write good essays? Rather than how do I take good notes? This might be very useful and some professors might not agree with it, but I'm pretty sure it's psychologically true at least. So some professors, to be honest, can be opinionated.
I got a bad feeling about this.
Politically and ideologically. Then you follow their opinion rather than your opinion. I'm not saying you just present the same thoughts, but like at least follow the same line of thought in a way. But present that line of thought in a creative and organized manner. Then you'll get good mark for sure.
Because if you try to go against the argument, you better come up with a really good argument rather than like what the professor might have. It's really challenging because they already learned a lot than you on the particular topic. That's probably why they're teaching it, right?
They might have a lot of counter arguments towards your argument. Yeah, so your argument might not be that strong enough, even though you research a lot. And as many people might say, creating a good outline is very critical for good essays.
It's actually easier for you to write a good essay or to start a sentence even.
So please create an outline. The other critical thing for writing a good essay is to not procrastinate.
Because if you do the brainstorming and everything in just a day, you actually go crazy and you're not gonna have that much of a good result unless you're a genius.
Okay, so before I create the outline, do I have to do additional research to get A+? It depends. You can ask the professor if you want. But usually professors like additional information because it actually took more effort to do that. But do not put too much effort in it because when you have too much other sources, then your writing might be kind of all jumbled up in a way.
If it's just like a 5-page or 3-page essay, then do not put too much other sources. You can just put it together with 2 or 3 more sources or even just 1 more source.
You can still create a good essay when you're concentrating on the reading that your professor asks you to read and asks you to write on. Yeah, so before you even brainstorm, it's very important that you analyze the question first, word by word.
You actually have to know what the professor wants from you. And if you do not do what they ask of you, your effort is not that meaningful.
You should make sure that thesis answer the question that the professor asked you to answer. Yeah, so how do you create a good outline? Yeah, so you start with the mind map brainstorming process by putting down all
the arguments that the writer had, and all the points that the professors pointed out, and that the point that you made from the reading.
I'm pretty sure you will have plenty of information that you can make as an argument. So you create an argument and sub-arguments. And that main argument is going to be your thesis, as sub-arguments are going to be the main points for the body paragraphs, because the whole writing goes around your thesis, the main argument.
So introduction introduces your thesis. The body paragraph supports your thesis. And the conclusion, restate your thesis and close the whole thing up.
So for introduction and conclusion, if you look at the essay funnel chart, the introduction goes from general to specific, when the conclusion goes from specific to general.
To go more in detail, introduction doesn't state the thesis at first. It kind of goes around what's general, like what's the status position in the world and everything. But then the conclusion starts with restating the thesis, ends with generalizing to the whole world. How can it apply in the real world situation?
So how do you write a good introduction? Okay, so there's a possible formula for that. To start it with a hook and the stasis position, destabilization, and then thesis. For a hook, I usually like starting this with an interesting question.
Because it might allure readers' interest by posing the question on them, and they might start thinking around the topic.
The stasis position is current, possibly stable condition on that, or like what many people believe in, but the opinion that you're trying to destabilize.
Popular phrase for starting this part is that the popular notion holds that. Many people believe that.
And the next part, of course, is about destabilizing that opinion, the popular opinion. Lastly, that destabilization is going towards your thesis. Clarity of your thesis is significant, especially significant of your whole essay. Make time to make people proofread it, so that you make sure that every one of you can understand what your thesis is, which is your main argument. So about the outline, you don't have to create an outline where
the sentences are like all full sentences and so organized. It looks so nice.
But then at least make neat bullet points so you know what the main point of your body paragraph is gonna be. And if you're gonna include quotes, or if you're gonna paraphrase any one of the quote from the book, then please include it in your outline with the page number and the author last name or name, because
it's going to help you. It's going to save you a lot of time when you're actually writing the essay, because you might have to include the in-text citation or embedded citations depending on your citation style.
If you have the page number information and everything, it's gonna save your life in the end. And so for each body paragraph, if the body paragraph doesn't have any function, if it does not carry any main point that's meaningful, do not use it. Just delete it. It's meaningless. And just make sure that each body paragraph flows well together, that you put a nice transition in between. So those transition sentences are not like firstly, secondly, and thirdly. You should not just number them.
That's for high school or lower level of education.
For university level writing, please be more creative. Please just don't start with like in addition, furthermore. Start with like a word or something like that can actually connect with the previous paragraph. So while assumed to be transparent and neutral, the discourse on the Orient undeniably embodies a distortion of some kind, like narrowing down on negative aspects of Middle Eastern religion. The Occident rationalizes popular anti-Arab prejudice as a stereotypical depiction of the Orient. Without public consciousness, the Orientalism and misinterpretation of Arabs diffuse into society through popular means of communication. So how do I come up with a good title for my essay?
Should it be like really creative? I'm not that creative writer. Should it be?
For academic essays, you have to make sure that readers can know what's in your essay right away, rather than it being abstract and having a pretty title with a rhyme. So make sure your title is clear as possible and that every reader can know what you're going to talk about right away. So how do I make sure that I have good grammar and good use of words? I recommend you Grammarly Premium. I'm not advertising on this, but I actually thought it's really helpful, not only for academic essays, for any writings that you have to do in English.
Vocab suggestion, like you're using the same vocabulary over and over, so you should use this instead. And also you can use it on Google Docs as well. When you're writing something on Google Docs, the Grammarly is going to pop up, which is pretty much amazing.
And for the synonyms, the Grammarly suggested 2 when you get premium, but you can also find it on thesaurus.com. I found this website really useful.
Finding synonyms is good for your essay because if you use the same word over and over, you're going to make the readers feel like they're reading the same thing and same information over and over.
And for anything, you don't have to use big professional like jargon or words, because if you overuse them, then you're gonna just sicken the readers. You're not trying to prove that you're smart. You're trying to prove your point.
Even if you use big words, if you do not know how to use them properly, you're not gonna sound smart. You're gonna sound like a dummy. So please don't do it. And if you want to use it, then use it early and properly.
So after all the proofreading, I recommend you to read all the things out loud and also print it out, because
when you actually print it out, it feels kind of different from you seeing it just on your laptop or desktop or electronic devices. When you print it out and just read it on paper out loud, you'll catch a lot more errors than you expected.
Yeah, so for students who do not have experience living abroad, citation might have been the hardest task ever. So I'm gonna suggest useful websites. I recommend EasyBiv, like that type of website.
That when you put all the information in, it's gonna make it for you. But usually it's not always accurate.
So where you can check it over is that pardue.com usually have
all formatting for all type of materials that you have, like a research paper, newspaper, even like TV or radio and whatnot. All citation styles, like even like embedded citations and in-text citations.
Thank you for watching my video. I was really glad that I got to share some of the experiences and insights that I got. If you thought this video is helpful, please like this video and subscribe to my channel if you like. Bye bye!